Hi guys, this is your astrology forecast for the week of the 7th of June to the 13th of June. Now there's some pretty big stuff happening in the sky this week. We've got Uranus changing signs, a full moon in Capricorn, and Saturn will station retrograde. Now with Uranus changing signs, so Uranus will move into Gemini on the 7th and it'll have an 8-year transit of Gemini. But what's going to happen is later on in the year, Uranus will station retrograde, move back into Taurus, then move forward again, finish off its 8-year transit of Taurus, and then move into Gemini. Now, wherever Uranus goes, change follows, and it's usually not change that's been thought out slow and deliberate. It just happens in the blink of an eye, and all of a sudden your world can be completely different. There's also this feeling of wanting freedom and authenticity with Uranus as well, and really just fucking off and doing your own thing. So with Uranus in Gemini, Uranus will be in Gemini. So it'll go into Gemini on the 7th, move back into Taurus, and then move back into Gemini again, and then it'll remain there until 2033. So if you think of the topics of your Gemini house, probably in 8 years' time, what those topics look like in your life now look very different. So if you think of the topics of the Taurus house of your chart, probably those topics look very different now than they did 8 years ago. Uranus is a very fast-paced, shaking up the status quo planet. Gemini is a little bit inconsistent, scattered and all over the place. So I don't think this transit is going to leave the world the same by any means by 2033. I think by 2033, there's going to be huge advancements in science and technology, how we communicate, how we do social media, and how we put information out in the world. I think it's just going to be completely different than what we're seeing now. We're already starting to see big changes in those areas coming in anyway. So it'll be interesting to see by 2033, what's really going on with all that. So with the Capricorn full moon on the 11th, this full moon will occur at 18 degrees of Capricorn. So with any full moon occurring in Capricorn, there can be this heavy feeling and a seriousness, serious tone in the air. You could be asked to work, make some decisions that we don't really want to have to do, but we know it's the right thing to do. We're real focus on how we contribute and how we achieve things out in the world as well. So this full moon will occur at 18 degrees. So if you have any planets, angles, sensitive points or whatever at 18 degrees of the cardinal signs, which are Capricorn, Libra, Aries, and Cancer, this full moon will shake things up a little bit for you. Full moons are a time of culminations, realizations that can shift you on a different path. So often with full moons, we receive new information or insights, and that changes how we do things. And the ruling planet of this full moon is Saturn. So Saturn is at 1 degree of Aries at the moment. Saturn is going to station retrograde. So when planets station retrograde, there usually comes a turning point or a change in circumstance. So when the ruling planet of this full moon is stationing retrograde to turn direction, also I think with this full moon, some information or realization or culmination is just going to happen, and it's really going to shift your whole direction and how you do things. So Saturn also went into Aries earlier on in the year. Now that it's stationing retrograde, it's going to go back into Pisces. So it's got some things to finish off in Pisces before it really kicks things off in Aries over the next 2 years. I think when planet like Saturn stations retrograde in Aries, I think it'll cause some reflection in all of us about how we achieve and go after the things that we want in life. So anyway, this week is going to act like a bit of a turning point. Mercury's also, I should add, Mercury's also slowing down. It's not retrograde yet. It won't be until next week. But you will still notice all your tech equipment fucking up and getting things confused, appointments, getting skew-whiffed, just a slowdown in the general day-to-day communications process in our lives. All right, thanks for listening, guys.